There's a really strange paradox in a lot of industrial and manufacturing businesses. The people leading it, often the founder of these companies, they're the technical experts. They know their products better than anyone. They understand the design decisions behind the product or service. They even understand exactly why their solution is better than anything else in the market. And in many cases, they've even helped design and build this product themselves. So naturally, there's an assumption. If we understand the product deeply, selling should be easy. But here's the thing. What we see over and over again is something very different. Sales performance is inconsistent. Pipeline looks full, but deals stall and don't close. And growth feels slower and more inconsistent than it should be. And when I talk to sales leaders, I always often hear the same frustration. I know this product better than anyone. So why is selling so frickin' damn difficult? The answer usually surprises people. And here's the thing. Technical expertise and sales expertise aren't mutually exclusive. They're two different skill sets. See, knowing how something works isn't the same as knowing how someone buys it. And for industrial and manufacturing businesses, the difference becomes super critical because complex and technical products needs a structured sales process, not just product knowledge. In this video, I want to break down why technical businesses often struggle with sales and what actually fixes the problem. From my experience in many technical companies, the founder and the leaders are the product experts. They've spent years and years and years building out their technical capability, building and designing a solution, and they tend to know every single specification, every performance advantage, and every engineering decision behind it. So when they sit down with a potential customer, the natural instinct is to explain the design, explain the technology, explain why it's better. From their perspective, this makes sense. The customer, they're thinking about timelines. They're ultimately thinking about whether making a change is worth it. So when a sales conversation becomes a technical explanation, something important is generally missing. It's the connection between the product and the business outcome for the buyer. See, we shouldn't be focused on selling products, but instead we need to focus on selling the problem. And without those two connections, even the best product can struggle to sell. And that's why features and benefits selling is no longer an effective strategy. So the real shift in modern selling is a shift towards a consultative selling strategy. Because selling isn't about being pushy. It isn't about pushing products. It's about helping clients identify their problems. It's about helping them understand the impact of the problem. And it's about helping uncover ways for you to help your client become more efficient and more profitable in ways they may never have thought of. So when you move away from pushing product and you start being seen as a trusted advisor, and trusted advisors don't push products, they help solve problems that really matter for their clients. Another pattern we see in technical industries is the sales conversation often stay focused on features. You see, a salesperson might explain the tolerances in the machine, the materials and the composite made for a component, or design advantages of a system. I mean, all of that information is correct, right? But it doesn't always help the customer want to make the right decision. Because here's the thing, buyers don't actually buy features. They buy increased efficiencies. They buy productivity improvements. They buy results that make them more profitable at the end of the day. So the real job in sales conversations isn't simply to explain how the product works. It's to help the customer to understand what changes for them if they choose it. How does this improve their operation? How does it help them get a return on investment and become more profitable? That shift from explaining features to explaining value is one of the most important transitions technical companies need to make. But even that isn't enough on its own, because another problem usually sits underneath it. And that problem is structure. I've worked with technical companies in all over the world. And generally when I look closely at most technical businesses, The thing I really discover that's missing is a clear, defined way of selling. And what tends to happen is that every single salesperson approaches sales conversations differently. One focuses heavily on the technical detail, another jumps quickly into pricing, and another spends most of the meeting answering questions. And look, occasionally there's a strong salesperson who just seems to make it work. But look, underneath all of that, here's what's actually happening. Sales conversations have been invented as they happen, and that creates several problems. Results, they become inconsistent. Forecasts, they become unreliable. New salespeople take a long time to be onboarded and ramp up. And leadership, well, they struggle to see what's actually happening inside of the deals. High-performing sales organizations don't rely on individual styles like this. They build sales systems which include how opportunities are qualified, what questions must we ask in each stage, what problems must be discovered, what evidence must exist before a deal moves forward. And when those things are clear, selling becomes far more consistent and far more scalable. Another common mistake we see in technical businesses that are trying to scale is that they put the technicians into a sales role. So look, the logic seems obvious. If someone understands the product deeply, they should be the best person to sell it. But that doesn't always work because technical expertise and sales capability are different skills. Guess what? Engineers and technicians, they're trained to focus on detail, accuracy, and explanation. Sales professionals, on the other hand, focus on something else. They focus on understanding the customer's problems, guiding the decision-making process, exploring commercial impact, helping the customer feel confident about moving forward. At the end of the day, closing is a confidence game. See, when these two skills are mixed without structure, conversations often become overly technical and don't tend to close. And the customer still doesn't feel confident at making a decision. The most effective industrial sales teams often separate these two roles. The salesperson leads the commercial conversations. The technical expert supports when deeper explanation is needed. So together, that combination becomes extremely powerful. So how do technical businesses fix this? The solution isn't simply hiring more salespeople, and it isn't buying new technology. It all starts with building a structured sales system. Most high-performing organizations build their sales capability around a few core foundations. First, a clear sales plan that defines the markets you're targeting and the types of customers you're best positioned to serve. Second, a defined milestone-centric sales process, structured approach for consultative conversations that really ensure the right problems are discovered in the meeting and the right information is gathered. Third, clear leading indicators. Instead of just tracking revenue, which is a lagging indicator, you track the behaviors that actually drives deals forward, aka leading indicators. The fourth discipline is forecasting. See, opportunities only move forward when there is real evidence behind them. And finally, really strong leadership and management capability. Leaders who coach conversations, challenge assumptions, and ensure the system's being adhered to. When these pieces come together, sales stops depending on individual personalities and heroics. It becomes a repeatable and predictable system, and that allows technical businesses to start scaling in a predictable and profitable way. If you're running a technical industrial manufacturing business and sales are feeling harder than it should be, the issue usually isn't product. In many cases, the product is freaking world class, it's excellent. The real issue is the sales system. It's the system around selling the product. Technical expertise explains how something works. Sales expertise explains why the customer should buy. When these two things come together inside a structured sales system, something powerful happens. Growth becomes more predictable, forecasts become more reliable, And sales stops feeling like guesswork, because the companies that scale successfully don't just build great products, they build great sales systems around them. If you're a CEO and you're looking for predictable and profitable sales, download the CEO's Guide to Sales Team Alignment.